Hey there, friends and fellow Earth lovers. Thanks for tuning into our exciting chat on Zero Waste Living. So glad you've joined us. Remember those good old days our grandparents often talk about? They tell us stories of how they'd stuff their trash into a big old hole in the ground, cover it up, and forget about it. That's your primitive waste disposal method right there, friends. Simply banish that junk right into the earth. Of course, we became a bit smarter and a bit busier as time went on. And so we introduced ourselves to the marvel of landfills. Think about it as version 2.0 of your grandpa's hole in the ground, but with a lot more science to it. Neatly managed and scientifically contained, these spectacular pits became the modern world's solution to escalating trash troubles. Or so we thought. But then, oh boy, the Industrial Revolution came along. It was as though we had given a turbo boost to waste generation. Factories popped up here, there, and everywhere, spewing out products and, yep, you guessed it, waste like nobody's business. Our consumption soared, and with it, so did the piles of trash. We had no idea what to do with it. Now, ain't that a pickle? They say change is the only constant, and boy are they right. From primitive methods to sophisticated landfills and then grappling with the impacts of the Industrial Revolution, our waste story is quite a roller coaster, isn't it? But hey, at least we're now waking up to the idea of zero waste living, looking out for Mother Nature, one compost heap at a time. So stick around, folks. Let's dive deeper into this journey together. So here's the tea. Can you believe that the concept of waste reduction only came into existence in the mid-20th century? Yeah, it seems late, doesn't it? Well, before then, folks were so engrossed with Industrial Revolution gains that they laid waste to the environment without giving Mother Nature a second thought. When Earth started gasping for breath under junk mountains, people got a bit of a wake-up call. That's when the idea of, hey, maybe let's not choke the planet with trash came into play. Waste reduction became the cool new kid on the block. It was all about rejigging production processes to generate less waste and setting up systems to recapture and recycle materials. Think of it like a big game of keep, away with the landfill. It was a good start, but it still wasn't enough because, well, waste was still being produced. Enter zero waste living. This bad boy is like the punk rock star of environmental movements. Zero waste living isn't just about reducing the waste you produce. It's about not producing any waste at all. As in nada, nix, zip. It's about rethinking our consumer behaviors, ditching that single-use plastic straw, and giving a firm no thank you to disposable stuff. Of course, we can't chat about zero waste living without giving a shout out to some of its key proponents and influencers. Bea Johnson, with her book Zero Waste Home, is like the pioneering queen of this realm. Her philosophy? The famous 5 R's: refuse, reuse, recycle, and rot. Then there's Lauren Singer. This chick decided to stuff 4 years worth of her trash in a single mason jar. Mad, right? And let's not forget about zero waste chef Anne-Marie Bonneau. She's banking on home cooking and zero waste to save the world. With gurus like these, this movement's got some serious traction. Ever noticed how the zero waste movement has just blown up in the past few years? People are really starting to wake up to the idea that we can't keep piling up Mount Everest-sized landfills without some serious consequences. So enter stage left, the zero waste lifestyle, a trend that's become a lifestyle and is fast gaining traction. The reaction from the public has been, well, mixed. Some folks are diving headfirst into their recycling bins, ready to wage war against plastic packaging. They see the devastating images of polluted oceans and wildlife struggling because of our excess waste, and it motivates them profoundly. Then, on the other hand, you've got those that think it's just a whole lot of hassle for very little reward. But let's talk success stories. I know you love a good feel. Good narrative. Remember that Australian family who would fit all their yearly waste into one tiny jar? Talk about nailing zero waste living. It's their passion and commitment to making a difference that shows us ordinary folks that it can be done. And dabbling in the zero waste lifestyle isn't just about recycling, reducing, and reusing to save the planet. It's also about enhancing our quality of life. You streamline your home, get more organized, and you just generate less mess. Ever come home after a tiring workday to a cluttered house? Yeah, not too appealing. Tidy home, tidy mind, as they say, not forgetting the money. saving aspect too. Reusing means you're not constantly forking over your paycheck for disposable goods. And who doesn't like seeing a healthier bank account at the end of the month? So people ditch that plastic bag and grab your reusable shopping tote. Let's join the movement and do Mother Earth some good. It's a simple case of a stitch in time saving 9, or in this case, saving our planet. There's some pretty cool tech stuff stepping up to help us live a zero waste lifestyle these days. Like, have you ever heard about apps that help you measure the waste you're producing, giving you a heads up about what you might cut back on? Neat, right? Also, there's this company, pretty genius if you ask me, that's making biodegradable packaging from mushrooms. Yes, you read that right. Mushrooms, that's taking natural resources and innovation to a whole new level. Moving on to some other updates. Have you noticed governments around the world are also stepping in to keep our planet cleaner? I mean, countries like Canada and France are passing laws against food waste in groceries, and the EU is actively working to ban single-use plastic completely. There's plenty of action happening in the US too. In California, they've put in place compulsory composting and recycling laws, which are encouraging people to produce less waste. The progress is real, man, and guess what? The zero waste idea is not just a fad anymore. It's spilling across borders faster than a drop jar of jam. Cities from San Francisco to Adelaide are aiming to be totally zero waste in the next few decades. Friends, families, even businesses are hopping on this green caravan because who doesn't want to live in a cleaner, healthier world? Even schools are teaching kids about the importance of reducing, reusing, and recycling. It's fantastic seeing children grow up with this kind of eco-conscious mentality.
Quite heartwarming, to be honest.
In a nutshell, tech, gurus, lawmaking bodies, and everyday folks like you and me, we're all playing a part in turning this idea of zero waste living into a global reality. Isn't it exciting? Part of a movement that's bettering our world. One compost bin, one mushroom package, one law at a time, jumping right in zero waste living. It's not some unattainable aspiration, more of a down-to-earth lifestyle that can actually work. Imagine this. Barely anything going in the trash because nearly everything is reused, recycled, or composted. Isn't that neat? It just involves a little bit of thought before you toss something away. But there's no sugarcoating here. It's not all smooth sailing. Critics often point out that going zero waste can be time-consuming and even expensive. Can you believe? They say wrapping your head around composting, recycling, and other zero waste methods requires a sizable chunk of time and patience. And sure, getting into the practice of buying reusable and often more expensive items up front can make your wallet weep a little. We're talking about saying bye to single-use plastic and hello to pricey biodegradable alternatives. But hey, don't let this bring you down. Like most things, zero waste living has its own hacks. For instance, instead of buying new and costly eco-friendly products, why not get creative with what you already have? Good old glass jars and cloth bags can be just as useful. And about that time concern, well, like any new lifestyle change, the first few steps might be a bit of a wobble. But once you get the hang of it, it'll be like second nature. Oh, and let's not forget, going zero waste isn't a cold turkey sort of thing. This isn't some extremist lifestyle where you'll get banished for having a single piece of trash. It's more about doing as much as you can within your means. If we all do a bit, just imagine the change we'd make. So, you know what they say, every little helps. So let's give it a shot in our own way to reduce waste to the absolute minimum. Now, isn't that something we can all strive for? Chat is overrated. So let's dive straight into the zero. Waste buzz, that's been doing the rounds. Yeah, you've probably heard your neighbor's cousin's dog walker has gone zero waste. Zero waste living is coming out hot, gaining momentum from the dusty corners of farmers markets straight to mainstream grocery aisles. It's like that kid at school everyone thought was nerdy who suddenly takes off his glasses and boom, instant coolness. Basically, this grassroots movement of zero waste living has steadily been gaining followers. So why all this hullabaloo about zero waste? Just like that empty pizza box you threw away last night. Every tiny bit of waste we create impacts the environment in some not so groovy ways. Zero waste living tackles this head on. It's the equivalent of giving Mother Earth a big warm hug. By minimizing trash, we're reducing our carbon footprint, conserving resources, and hey, even saving a few bucks in the process. Sustainable living is the soup du jour, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere soon. As for the future, we're looking at some uber rad trends bolstering the zero waste movement even more. Think waste reduction technologies. Imagine a Star Trek, a gadget that zaps away your waste. Plus, with growing consumer awareness, zero waste might soon be the mode du jour for not just people, but businesses too. Before you run off to sort your trash, just remember that every little bit helps. Zero waste living isn't an overnight thing. It's more of a journey of small, conscious steps towards a sustainable lifestyle. So hop on board the zero waste train and let's make our planet happier. Just a quick favor before you dash. If you found this useful, click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll never miss our new videos on how to live more sustainably. And while you're at it, smash the like button because that's some zero waste living right there.